and welcome once again to Aspire with Chet. Okay, so we have to kick off right away. So the very first thing we're going to be doing on this channel is a book review. Yes, a book review. You heard me right. And the very first book we're going to be reviewing is a book written by a man that's impacted my life so much. And the book is this one, Love the Way to Victory by Kenneth E. Hagin. Kenneth Hagin, I know he's late now, but he was one of the greatest inspirations I ever had in my walk with God. Why? Because he was someone that exemplified the Christian life. He was a real Christian beyond being a pastor or beyond having any other title that he had. He was a real Christian, and his love life, literally challenged me. And I've read this book more than once, obviously, and I've been so blessed, with the book. So I decided you have to kick off with this book. Why? Because in chapter 1, he said, he actually referred to 1 John chapter 4, verse 8, that says, "He that loveth not, knoweth not God, for God is love." It's amazing that, God, the only thing that was used to capture the essence of God is actually love in the Bible. There's nowhere the Bible says, "For God is power, for God is, all those things." The only virtue really that captures the essence of God is love. God is an encapsulation of love. Everything about God is love. So that's the very nature of God. So if you say that you're God's child made in his image, then that means you have to be a person of love. That is the fruit that shows that of a truth that you belong to God. It's very interesting. And there's something else he also wrote. If you go to page 13, that's same chapter 1, which is characteristics of the God kind of love. He wrote something. He says, you see, love takes no account of a suffered wrong, but once I get involved in contributing to someone else's downfall, it will affect me spiritually and physically. I don't want anything to hinder my spiritual growth. And I don't want to give the devil an open door to put sickness or disease on me either. I don't like sickness. I was sick for the first 17 years of my life, and I don't want any part of sickness. And I know that in order to walk in health and to grow spiritually, a person has to walk in love toward others. It's very amazing, the link between walking in love and living a healthy life. Yes. I would say that bitterness, unforgiveness, anger is responsible for over 80% of the health issues people go through. Because if you read the story of Kenneth Hagin, you would know that he was bedridden for like 17 years. He was totally incapacitated. That was actually before he gave his life to Christ. And he was a very bitter young lad because of his family experiences, And when he gave his life to Christ, the first thing he learned to do was to love. So he had to love all those people that treated him wrongly, that he was very mad at, and all of that. So when he learned to love, he started walking in health. And do you know that since the Lord healed him and he learned how to walk in love, he lived in health till he died at 80-something years? Yes, it's very amazing. You can live a long and healthy life when you learn how to walk in love. So that is how amazing, it is to walk in love. And, when we talk about love, I don't know, people have their own ideology of what love is. So they feel love is emotions, it's about how you feel. Oh, I'm in love, butterflies in my belly, and all of that. But have you ever sat down to wonder why people that once claimed to be in love, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, they are seeking to have a divorce, or they're even killing themselves? Have you not heard of spouses killing each other? Have you not heard, of, very crazy kinds of things happening? Even a brother killing a brother because of a land tussle, and things like that. So that tells you that that is not real love. The only love that is pure and genuine is love that we call the agape love. The agape love, that is the God kind of love. And quickly, we're going to look at 1 Corinthians chapter 13, because that is where, the Bible talks about agape love in detail. 1 Corinthians chapter 13. So for this first part of this video, we're going to be doing just from verse 1 to 3. It says, "For if I can speak in the tongues of men and even of angels," that is the amplified version of the Bible, and angels, "but have not love, that reasoning, intentional spiritual devotion, such as is inspired by God's love for and in us, I am only a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers, the gift of interpreting the divine will and purpose, and understand all the secret truths and mysteries, and possess all knowledge, and if I have faith so that I can remove mountains, but have not love, God's love in me, I am nothing, I am a useless nobody." So that means it doesn't matter the other attributes you have. It doesn't matter how great and awesome you are in other things. But if you lack the love of God in your heart, then you are nothing. Then verse 3 even jolts us the more. It says, "If I dole out all that I have to the poor in providing food, and if I surrender my body to be burned, or in order that I may glory, but have not love, I gain nothing." So how can you give to the poor without love? How can you give your body to be burned without love? It's amazing. So that means love starts from the heart, So because, we see a lot of people come on social media and they try to advertise what they're doing for other people and all of that. I mean, I'm not against that if you must, but then it has to start with genuine compassion for the person that you're helping. If you're doing something just to make a name for yourself, then there's no love in that. Because love actually abases self. Love brings self under and puts the other person above. So when we are talking about love, actually what we are talking about is, putting yourself aside and putting someone else ahead. So your motive is very important when it comes to love. So love is a very critical part of our existence, and I'm sure you want to really know more about love and how to love right and how to be loved right. So join us on our journey, and in the next video, I know I'm going to be showing you the characteristics of love, because sometimes you just say, "Oh, I'm a loving person." I love people and all of that. But when the chips are down, that is when we know whether you truly love. So in the next video, you're going to be finding out what it actually means to love on a real-time basis. So God bless you, and see you in the next video.